Alrighty guys, I'm Morthadon, bringing you guys Reincarnated as a Slime, episode 3. Just a real quick reminder, my webcam is a little off from my monitor. I mentioned this in my last video, but I know some people will just skip through episodes they like and don't like and only watch certain ones, so if you're wondering why my camera angle is a little bit weird from like the first episode, or if you haven't seen any of my episodes, my monitor died. I just actually sent it in today. I got the shipping label set up, the RMA went through, and I drove it out to the FedEx place and paid for them to pack it, and, you know, they're going to be shipping it like tomorrow or whenever they do it. So hopefully within a week or two I will have that back and get back to normal monitor setup, but yeah, I just wanted to go through that real fast. I don't want to waste too much time yapping about it every single video, but I want to briefly mention it so you guys know why I'll be looking over here and not directly at the camera. So I guess, yeah, let's just talk about the last episode, which was a fun one. We got to see, one of the questions I had regarding the show after the first episode was whether or not they really were going to take the OP approach, because I know by the first episode that's what they hinted at, but sometimes they don't always, like, completely follow through with that kind of stuff. They give them some, like, starter abilities and that's it, but nope. Our Mr. Slime, Rimuru? I just like to call him Rim, is definitely overpowered, and he just keeps learning new abilities pretty much as he needs them. He can do anything, which I love it. It's gonna be so fun seeing this overpowered slime do his thing. So he is about to take on 100 dire wolves in this next episode, which I'm sure he's just gonna, like, I wonder if he's gonna try to be subtle. So, because I'm pretty sure he can mop the floor with these dire wolves, right? Like, he's got that water spell, plus he has a bunch of other abilities that he can do, and I'm thinking that he could easily stomp them, but is he gonna want to show his true power to everybody? That's something I'm not sure about. He could very easily just limit his power a little bit to make it look like a fight, but they also already know how strong he is because he was releasing his aura, like, a ton. So maybe he won't even bother hiding it at all, and he'll just obliterate these, and these guys will just worship him as, you know, their new god, which was the Storm Dragon before, apparently. And now that I'm not sure what happened to the Storm Dragon since Rimuru ate the friggin' orb thing, the prison that Veldora was in, and I don't know if Veldora is inside the slime now, or is he just, like, teleported away, but the prison is in there? I really don't know. Might be just some kind of magic that shrinks him along with the prison, if the prison shrinks or something. Who knows? But yeah, so that pretty much brings us to here. So we're about to see some cool fights, and it might end up being quick ones. So I wonder what the rest of the episode will be about. Who knows? But let's just jump into it. Alright guys, so like usual with all of my videos, all of my reactions, you're going to see them down, and you can follow the highlight link that I put down in the description. It'll direct you to Vimeo, and you can check out my reaction there. And then you can come back here to this YouTube video, and you can check out my discussion afterwards. And I talk about all this stuff, like, there's a lot of things that go through my mind when I watch these shows that I react to that I can't say during the episode because I want to have, like, a minute or two or sometimes longer to, you know, talk it through and try to figure out, like, how it really works and stuff, and you know, or, like, the meaning behind stuff. So that's pretty much what I plan, or that's what I do in my discussions. So if you guys want to stick around for that after the video, you can check that out. That'll be, it'll just cut to another scene where I start saying, like, the episode's done, and that's when I start discussion. So you can check that out if you guys want. So yeah, go ahead and click that Vimeo link right now, guys. Alrighty. So that is the end of episode 3 of Reincarnated as a Slime. So yeah, that was a fun episode. I mentioned during the ending for full lengthers that would have seen it. The whole episode kind of went a little differently than I thought it would. Now, it did occur to me that he could come up with a slightly peaceful solution for the dire wolves. I didn't really talk about it. I think I mentioned it during the episode. I'm not sure if it'll stay in there or not when I do like the cutting and everything. Um, but as soon as they talked, is when I kind of like changed my idea a little bit, where it might not be slaughter, it might be surrender. Because my original impression, where I thought it was just gonna be like one big slaughter, was when I thought they were just beasts, working under like natural instinct to like attack and eat things. So I didn't think there'd be like any logic to them. I thought they'd keep fighting until they're all dead. But as soon as I heard one talk, I was like, oh, well, negotiations are on the table if you can talk. So, but that was cool. It killed the leader pretty brutally, but it made a point. Like I said during the episode, he's kind of creating peace using a firm hand. Like he's forcing people into peace, which isn't always the best way to go about doing things. I can definitely see some conflict that could arise in the future if they decide they want to do this. But one of the biggest things I want to talk about with this episode was the fact that he brought the dire wolves and the goblins together, and they living together as one. It's great. It's a great philosophy, and it's a great thing to do for, maybe this, like, part of the world. Like, the monsters, being friendly with each other. The only bad thing is how that looks from an outside perspective. So, we got this really overpowered slime rallying the troops of a bunch of different kinds of monsters, giving them names, which apparently makes them evolve into, like, more powerful versions of their race. And that, I think, is gonna be something that, like, humans or whatever highest food chain faction there is in this fantasy world might see. Like, we saw like humans with guilds and stuff, but I don't even know if they're top of the food chain, because the intro also has people with like horns, so I don't know if they're top of the food chain or what. But they might look at this and be like, guys, the monsters are rallying in the forest, they're building a village, and this isn't good, we need to take care of this. And then they might send people out there, and things might get really complicated. That's if they want to do a storyline like this, but they also don't have to do that. They're like, oh, the monsters are getting really peaceful these days, this is awesome, and then just like keep going with his merry adventure, But that was one of the things, like, during the episode I mentioned when he was naming them, I was like, I hope this doesn't have negative consequences, and it already kind of did, in a way. One, it affects him because he uses Magicules. Now, I don't know if it said it uses Magicule reserves. Now, did he recover just enough to be awake and move in those 3 days? Or did he recover to the point where he can name that many goblins again without any problem? Like, does he just need to name like that many goblins, stop like maybe 1 or 2 short, and then take like a 3-day break and name that many? Because he could build a massive army of like evolved creatures in this world, evolved monsters, and he could do that in like no time flat. Like 3 days break, like getting there's probably like 30 goblins minimum in that place, right? And then he did do one direwolf, but it ended up doing like the whole pack as well. That's not counting if there's other monsters that follow that pack logic and all evolved together with just a single name. So that could be some conflict in the future. But the other thing I thought of was maybe he didn't recover all of the Magicules he had from like the start of the episode, naming all the people, and then 3 days went by and he was back to the start. Maybe it was back before because he was eating all those crystals, which were like Magicules, weren't they? Something like that. Like they were just like raw Magicule like ores. I wonder if that like stored up his power and now he's a little weaker than he was before because he used up those. Maybe he has to go nom nom on some more crystals to be able to name that many people again, and that wouldn't be as overpowered. But yeah, I don't know. That's just one thing I thought of. This episode differed from what I thought because I thought they were gonna kind of kill them all, and he was gonna do kind of like he did, and even throughout the whole episode, I thought he was going to. He like united these people into a village and started giving them jobs, and then he gave the leader guy the lord position, and I thought he was just gonna take off, like in a more like separate sense. Like they always like worship him as a god, but he doesn't actually like continue to help that village. But it seems like he's still helping the village. I don't know how many episodes, or if this is just gonna be like this is his new like respawn point. Like this is his new hometown in a sense, and he's gonna keep building on this, and the goblins are just eventually just gonna have this like amazing city almost. That'd be kind of cool. I'm all about like the whole like base building and seeing like a civilization form. I love that kind of thing in especially in like games and stuff. I really loved there was a time when I played I believe it was Rust. I don't know if any of you guys know it. It's more of like an indie survival game. But there was an old version of it, not the way it is now. I guess you could do it in the way it is now, but the really old version before they reworked everything, we ended up having like a pretty big group of people, and they all had their own houses and bases and stuff, and we all built near each other, and we had like this city, like not really a city, but this little like town structure going where we had like a road running through, we had some fences going up, we had like 4 or 5 houses I think being built. And it was really cool. Like I really love like seeing that come up and like looking at it from a distance and like top down views and everything. I just love seeing the progression of that stuff. And I've always loved that in shows like The Walking Dead. I have posters of it when they do get in some of these like safe situations, like when they took over the jail and they started building like fortifications on the fences, they started like growing plants, and they started doing like all this stuff. I love seeing that kind of stuff like build up. It's a lot of fun. So I'm okay with that being a thing. I do want to see more of the world, but it seems like we're gonna get both. Like he has his home base, and now he has a mission where he's gonna go see the dwarves, and the dwarves are gonna help them with their base building. It seems like, and maybe get them into like metals, and they might start getting some like better tools and everything, and maybe even weapons. And once again, that also leads to the scary thing, because if this goblin village suddenly starts getting, metal houses, or all this like good architecture, like people are gonna notice. The more intellectual races, and the more like I said, the ones higher up on the food chain are gonna come down and possibly make their move. So I don't know how much of that is gonna come true that I'm talking about. It depends on really like where the show wants to take it, but I'm enjoying where it's going. This episode was a lot of fun. It was very silly at points with the dog wagging its tail like making a tornado because it's like evolved and it's bigger, and it was pretty funny. And then I actually felt really bad for the older guy a few times, where he was like trying to shoot the bow and it barely went anywhere, and I was like, "Aw, he's trying so hard." And then what was the other point? When he got his name, I think it was when he got his name, he was almost doing like a little dance kind of thing, but it looked so silly. I felt so bad for him. At the same time, I was like, "Aw," I don't know. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. But yeah, so I think that's really all I have to say for this one. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I know I did. And you might see more content coming from me on a channel wise. I'm not sure about Reincarnated as a Slime. I'm not sure if I'll do any double drops yet. I did do an extra episode of Boruto, which I'll be releasing tomorrow, maybe? No. It'll probably be the day after tomorrow. So for you guys, you'll be getting this on Friday. I'll probably be releasing that extra episode on Sunday because I'll probably be editing it tomorrow. I won't be editing it tonight, and then I gotta render overnight. So yeah. I did an extra episode mostly because it got corrupted. For my episode 33, and Boruto got corrupted, which sucks. But or no, 32 got corrupted. 33 was the one I just uploaded today. And yeah, so 34 will be coming on Sunday, and who knows? I also might be working on my Patreon. I might be getting some more benefits coming up. I might be doing some like early access for patrons kind of thing, which means I just need to find the time to watch ahead of what I'm currently at, because at the moment I watch the episode, I edit it, I render it the day before, and then I release it the next day. So I just need to change my pattern a bit and find some extra time, which my really hard class I've been in is ending, so hopefully I can find some more time to do that and get some more benefits up there on Patreon for you guys. So yeah. Once again, I hope you enjoyed. Check out my Patreon if you want to support the channel and get some rewards out of it. You can go check out that. The link is in the description. And or you can just subscribe. That's a nice free way to support the channel. It always makes me feel good seeing new subscribers and all that. I do notice all of you guys. I think we're still at 97. We're not getting a ton of subscribers, but that's fine. I'm still enjoying what I'm doing. So maybe if I really wanted to grow my channel rapidly, I'd do reactions to Boku no Hero Academia. But no, the problem with Boku no Hero Academia, or My Hero Academia, is I've seen all the way up to season 3, or part of the way through season 3. I'm like towards the end of it, and I really want to watch the rest of it as a reaction, but that's like halfway through a season. I haven't figured out what I want to do yet. I've been thinking about doing a catch-up series where I watch through the episode with you guys, but it wouldn't be a blind reaction. I'd be rewatching it and just kind of talking about like what I really love about the show, because I absolutely love the show, and I'd love to have every episode up for people that might want to like rewatch it with me. But I feel like that wouldn't get too many views, but not like I really care. I'd probably do a full-length unedited version so I can blow through it. And because if I don't have to edit videos, I can do a lot more, because I could sit here and watch the episode, kind of talk during the episode because I've seen a lot of it, and then do a quick discussion afterwards of like what I liked about the episode. It wouldn't be very long at all. And then I could move on to the next episode, and I could get like, in the time for me to watch and edit an episode, I could probably watch like 3 like full-length versions and just release that to people, so that way they can watch it if they want. And then I'd go back to like the edited version and all that once I get to like caught up and everything, like my usual pattern. But I don't know. That was just something I thought of. But yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter to me. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying the shows I'm watching. I'm enjoying talking to you guys. There's a few of you that comment regularly in the Boruto comments. I've had some people I've been talking to in the Fairy Tail comments a bit, and it's always fun. So I love even just having like a little community of people to talk to. But yeah, I'm pretty much it. It's some nice little rambling from me, because I love to talk, apparently, but only when it comes to this kind of crap. Because you get me in the real world talking about sports, and I'm just like quiet as a mouse. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you guys next week for another episode. And yeah, bye bye, guys. See ya. Adios. Bye.